I'm Eric Kane. He's Austin Price. As you watch us here on Volquest.com and on the Volquest YouTube channel, go ahead and like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. Early National Signing Day, that was yesterday. Tennessee got all of its work done in the morning. Already 15 early enrollees, a couple of transfers on campus for practice, so pretty uneventful, but it's never too early to look ahead at the class of 2024. And Austin Price, there is a talented in-state group of those 24 Tennessee's continuing to work.
Yeah, Tennessee with 2 commits in state to this point, starting with the first one, Carson Gentle, defensive lineman from McCallie. I think Tennessee got a steal here. I think that, he is really, really good, and I don't think people really grasp how talented this kid is. Hard worker, kind of a blue-collar kind of guy, doesn't require a lot of attention when it comes to, you don't have to, send him 57 edits and all those things that, some kids require. Just kind of a, blue-collar, hard-nosed guy that just goes to work. Has started wrestling, has been dominating the wrestling scene this season. And, I think that Tennessee got a good one there. Then Caleb Beasley, another good one. Tennessee got out of the mid-state. Lipscomb can play a number of different spots in the secondary, can play be a bigger corner, can play some nickel, can play some safety. Had, 4 or 5 defensive touchdowns, whether it be pick sixes or scoop and scores. And the guy just is a ball magnet. He's always in the right place at the right time, gets his hands, on the football a lot, and is able to, return those and get touchdowns on the defensive side of the ball, which is an art that you just don't see a whole lot of. And then, as far as the uncommitted guys, you can look around the state, whether it be Chattanooga, mid-state, maybe even out in Memphis. 2024, probably not real line of scrimmage heavy. You got Gentle and you got Ronan O'Connell, and there's one guy at MUS. But for the most part, it's still a fairly deep class with some guys Tennessee really covets.
Now, as far as the guys Tennessee has committed right now, and Beasley and Gentle here in the in-state, how difficult will it be to try to hold on to those guys? Because, again, we're really early in this process.
Well, I think anytime an in-state kid commits, it's not as hard to hold on to. Now, Deion Sanders is going to come in. Everybody's going to make a big deal about Deion. It's Caleb Beasley. He picked Tennessee for a reason. Is he really going to decommit from Tennessee to go play at Colorado? At the end of the day, I think ultimately, you just continue to recruit those kids like they're not committed. Keep showing them, attention, and I don't think they're going anywhere. Again, they picked Tennessee for a reason. And then you look elsewhere. You got Marcus Gorey, Bradley Central, Boo Carter down in Chattanooga. You've got, Amari Jefferson, who's a really good, talented tailback at Baylor, who I think just scratching the surface because he's a baseball guy, but he's starting to become a football guy really quick. You saw Kyler Murray. He had a chance to go baseball, and he still chose to go football. And it's one of those things where football is such a magnet for guys, and I think Amari Jefferson's starting to see that at Baylor. And then, like I said, Ronan O'Connell in the mid-state. You have Kamaro Brown out in Memphis. And then there'll be other players pop up here and there, and Tennessee will continue to see who emerges, who develops. Maybe someone that Tennessee's evaluating right now that, takes a really good spring, has a growth spurt, and all of a sudden, heading into the summer, they're a different player than they were this past fall. That's always something you have to keep in mind as well.
Let's look out of state now. And again, I'm not going to ask you to say, we swing in here, we swing in here. There's so many different kids out there. But, the Ryan Wingos of the world who saw Tennessee play a couple times this past year. Jonathan Eccles, who is a commit in this class, but he's, the IMG product's going to be hard to hang on to. Who were some others, some names right now to maybe pay attention to in this 2024 cycle?
Well, we'll start with Eccles. He's a guy that you want to try to hold on to, Eric. When you think about, where Tennessee's at, in the recruiting process, they have 3 commits for this, 2024 cycle. He's the only out-of-state one. He's been committed for a while. And, you have to, really appreciate what he's done as a player. He was up here multiple times this fall from IMG for games. And then, with Alex Golish's departure, I think it's important to get someone hired and let them try to start, go to work and make him understand, hey, our relationship's going to be really good, just like yours and Coach Golish's, and just start recruiting him almost, again, like he's not committed even though he is.
And then last thing, you got to recruit every position. That's college sports. There's a lot of turnover here, but early on in the Josh Heupel era here at Tennessee, he has gone after certain positions. One of those positions is pass rusher. We've already talked about one pass rusher in this class. But what are some of those key positions that we should see Tennessee really dialing into for this class of 2024? Edge rusher was huge for the class of 2022 and 2023.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be that. You can never have too many, but I don't think you're going to see this movement to go and get 3 Leos.
Yeah.
I think what you'll see is a lot of offensive linemen in the class of 2024. Tennessee's going to swing hard at Cam Pringle, big offensive lineman out of South Carolina. Daniel Calhoun, they'll take a mighty lash. Now, they may not land either one of those guys because, again, you're going up against the best of the best for players like that. But Tennessee's going to definitely swing there and see what happens. Kamarion Franklin, defensive lineman, North Mississippi, is one that I think Tennessee will swing hard at. Daniel Hill, a running back out of Mississippi, someone who I think Tennessee will continue to recruit really hard. We'll see what they do at quarterback. The 2 kids from down in Savannah, one of them is committed to Florida State right now. You have Cutter Boley out of the state of Kentucky, who is someone that Tennessee continues to look at. They try to be in the Jaden Davis sweepstakes, but at the end of the day, with Nico here, it becomes a little harder, to get a top end guy. And I get some people go, well, Georgia does it. Well, Tennessee's not to Georgia's level yet, and Georgia's got 3 5-stars sitting on the bench while the walk on plays right now. So and I get he's not really a walk on anymore. But my point though is a guy who is not thought to have any chance at the job a couple of years ago is won 1 national title and is going to play for another, coming up here in the playoffs, while the, ballyhooed 5-stars aren't anywhere to be found. So,
yeah.
I think, you're interested to see what they do at the quarterback spot. And I think a lot of that will depend on, what happens with Taven Jackson. But this 24 class doesn't have to have a top end quarterback. You just need a good, solid player at that position.
I know we're talking 2024, but I'm gonna leave on this. 2 in-state 2025s. You were talking quarterback, George McIntyre, and then Cam Sparks, who is a really nice athlete. Might not know if he'll play defensive back or wide receiver, but those are 2 guys that have got to be at the top of the board, even looking further ahead for 2025.
Yeah, 100%. McIntyre's a really good player. Just scratching the surface of what he can be there at Brentwood Academy. They'll have a new coach. It'll be interesting to see what kind of offense that they bring in and how they try to utilize him, because, I think he's got big-time potential, top 50 player national top potential, high-end 4-star French 5-star type potential. And then Cam Sparks is he's a big boy, really good ball player. I think the more those kids mature, I think that's the biggest word you can use for either one of them, and is just learning to work, learning to attack the day, and maturing as a young man and as a football player will help those guys, because talent wise they are high end players. I'm talking top 50 type high end players. You just want to continue to work on your craft and do so the right way.
Well, the hay's in the barn for the class of 2023, but recruiting never stops. Never too early to look ahead at 2024 and some at 2025. And we have all that every single day, 365 over at Volquest.com. He's Austin Price. I'm Eric Kane. Stay dialed into Volquest.com. A busy week of recruiting, transfer portal news, and always Tennessee basketball and football. Again, it's Volquest.com.